Ladies and gentlemen, I need your full attention right now, because what I'm about to tell you could completely change how you age. You've been lied to. You've been told that after 60, your muscles shrink, your strength fades, and there's nothing you can do about it. Well, guess what? That's BS. And if you've ever looked in the mirror and felt weaker, smaller, or like your body is slipping away from you, I want you to hear this loud and clear. Muscle growth after 60 is not only possible, it's totally within your control. Now, before you roll your eyes or think, "Yeah, right, not with these knees," let me break it down. The belief that muscle growth after the age of 60 is impossible is one of the most damaging myths that has persisted in health culture. It's understandable why many people accept it without question. As we get older, the body does experience physiological changes. Metabolism slows, hormone levels drop, and recovery takes longer. But what is often left out of the conversation is that these changes do not mean the body loses its capacity to grow, adapt, and become stronger. In fact, muscle growth is not only possible after 60, but it can be one of the most empowering and health-boosting actions a person can take in their later years. The aging process naturally includes sarcopenia, which is the gradual loss of muscle mass. This begins as early as the 30s and accelerates with age, especially if a person leads a sedentary lifestyle. But sarcopenia is not a sentence, it's a challenge that can be met head-on with the right approach. The human body, at any age, responds to resistance. It responds to movement, tension, load, and challenge. When older adults engage in strength training or resistance-based exercise, their muscles still go through hypertrophy, the same process of fiber breakdown and repair that results in increased size and strength. The key is not the age of the person, but the consistency and type of stimulus applied. What's even more exciting is that scientific studies now show measurable muscle gain in people well into their 70s and 80s, even if they've never exercised seriously before. This isn't just about looking better or feeling younger. Muscle plays a critical role in overall health. It supports joint stability, protects against falls, improves metabolism, balances blood sugar, and contributes to better brain health. The stronger you are physically, the more capable and independent you remain. That kind of strength translates directly into freedom. Freedom to move without assistance, to travel, to carry your own groceries, and to engage fully in life. Many older adults shy away from strength training because of fear of injury, pain, or not knowing what to do. But the reality is, starting small and being consistent yields real results. Light weights, resistance bands, bodyweight exercises, all of these are powerful tools when done with proper form and regularity. The biggest obstacle isn't the body, it's the mind. The mindset that says, "I'm too old for this," is what keeps most people stuck. Once that mental block is removed, the possibilities open wide. It's also important to understand that nutrition plays a vital role. Protein becomes even more important after 60 because older adults have a higher threshold for muscle protein synthesis. This means they need more high-quality protein to trigger the same muscle building response as younger individuals. Supplementing with key nutrients like creatine monohydrate, vitamin D, magnesium, and omega-3 can help support this process even further. Creatine, in particular, has been shown to be especially effective in older populations for maintaining and even increasing lean muscle mass. The transformation doesn't just happen in the body, it happens in identity. When someone over 60 starts seeing muscle definition, lifting more weight, or walking upstairs without getting winded, it reshapes how they view themselves. They stop feeling old and start feeling powerful. That change is not just physical, it's deeply emotional and psychological. It fuels confidence and optimism, which in turn feeds back into their commitment to staying active and healthy. Stories of older adults becoming stronger in their 60s, 70s, and beyond are becoming more common. Whether it's a 68-year-old woman who begins lifting weights for the first time or a retired man who takes up resistance training and reverses years of decline, these aren't outliers anymore. They are proof that the body is far more resilient and capable than we give it credit for. It's not too late, not even close. What ultimately matters is the decision to start. No matter how much muscle you've lost or how long you've been inactive, the body responds when you give it a reason to. Starting today, with even the smallest effort, can spark a chain of events that leads to profound physical change. And in that change is the reminder that life after 60 isn't about decline, it's about potential. The truth is simple but powerful. Muscle growth after 60 is not only possible, it's waiting for you to believe it and take action. Creatine monohydrate is one of the most researched and effective natural supplements available, and its benefits extend far beyond athletes and bodybuilders. In recent years, a growing body of scientific evidence has shown that creatine can be incredibly beneficial for adults over 60 who are looking to maintain or even build muscle mass, improve physical performance, and support cognitive health. While it may sound surprising, the truth is that this simple, naturally occurring compound can play a key role in helping older adults stay strong, active, and independent well into their later years. Creatine is found naturally in the body, primarily in muscles, where it helps produce adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, the primary energy currency of the cell. When you engage in any form of physical activity, especially short bursts of strength-based movements like lifting, pushing, or pulling, your muscles rely heavily on ATP to fuel the contraction. Supplementing with creatine increases the body's stored levels of phosphocreatine, allowing for more rapid regeneration of ATP during exercise. This means muscles can work harder for longer periods before fatiguing, which is especially valuable when strength is already in decline due to aging. For individuals over the age of 60 who naturally experience a reduction in muscle mass and power, creatine becomes more than a performance enhancer. It becomes a critical support tool for functional health. Studies have shown that creatine supplementation, when combined with resistance training, significantly enhances muscle strength, power, and lean body mass in older adults. This is not just about aesthetics or building visible muscles. It translates to real-world strength, being able to get up from a chair without assistance, climbing stairs without stopping, carrying groceries, or reducing the risk of falls due to increased muscular control. One of the most appealing things about creatine for older populations is its safety profile. Dozens of long-term studies have examined its use, and the results consistently show that creatine is safe for healthy individuals when taken in recommended dosages, typically around 3 to 5 grams per day. There are no known harmful side effects when used appropriately, and it does not interfere with most medications. This makes it an ideal supplement for seniors who may be wary of more aggressive pharmaceutical interventions or hormone therapies. In addition to its muscle-supporting properties, creatine also has surprising cognitive benefits. The brain, like muscles, uses ATP to function efficiently. Research has found that creatine supplementation can improve memory, mental fatigue resistance, and cognitive performance in older adults. This is especially relevant as many people over 60 begin to notice changes in their mental sharpness or experience declines in executive function. By supporting cellular energy in the brain, creatine offers a natural way to help preserve cognitive health alongside physical strength. The ease of using creatine is another reason it stands out. It comes in a simple powder form that can be mixed with water, juice, or even added to a smoothie. There's no need for complex routines or cycling periods. Daily, consistent use at a moderate dose is all that's needed to experience the benefits. For older adults, starting a new supplement can often feel overwhelming, but creatine's simplicity removes that barrier. No taste, no fuss, just measurable results over time with regular use. When older adults incorporate creatine into their daily routine, especially alongside some form of resistance exercise, the results can be powerful. Improved strength leads to improved mobility. Greater mobility leads to more physical activity, which in turn supports cardiovascular health, joint health, and mental well-being. This creates a positive cycle of health that feeds into every aspect of life, from independence to self-esteem. Many older individuals assume that their days of improving strength and vitality are behind them, but creatine supplementation offers a clear, science-backed path to rediscover what the body is still capable of. It's not a magic pill, but it is a highly effective tool, one that works naturally with the body's own systems. When combined with even a modest strength training routine, the changes can be visible and tangible within weeks. Ultimately, embracing creatine supplementation after 60 is about more than physical transformation. It's about reclaiming a sense of control, energy, and optimism. It's about choosing to engage with life actively rather than passively. It's about saying yes to health, strength, and longevity in a world that often says aging means decline. With creatine, older adults have a natural, proven ally in the fight against muscle loss and cognitive aging, and that makes it one of the most powerful additions to any wellness routine after 60. When it comes to building muscle and reclaiming physical strength after 60, there is one element that matters just as much, if not more, than any supplement, exercise, or diet plan: mindset. Without the right mindset, all the tools in the world won't make a lasting difference. The belief that muscle growth is possible at this stage of life is the first and most essential step toward actual change. The truth is, the body is still capable of transformation, but the mind must lead the way. It starts with shifting from limitation to possibility, from doubt to confidence, and from hesitation to commitment. Many older adults carry mental baggage around aging. Society has conditioned people to believe that aging means slowing down, stepping back, and expecting decline. That narrative, repeated over time, becomes internalized. People begin to assume that aches, weakness, and fatigue are normal and unchangeable. They stop challenging themselves. They stop moving their bodies in meaningful ways. Over time, their actions or inactions begin to match their beliefs. This is where the most damage is done, not in the body, but in the mind. Rewriting that narrative is absolutely critical. It begins by recognizing that age does not dictate ability. The science is clear. Muscle fibers don't lose their potential to grow with age. They simply need the right stimulus. That stimulus starts with action, and action starts with belief. Developing a growth-oriented mindset, even in the later stages of life, is what allows individuals to push past self-imposed limitations and start building momentum. This mindset is not about unrealistic goals or chasing perfection. It's about believing that progress is possible, that the body is still responsive, and that every effort counts. Once that shift in belief begins, consistency becomes the next critical component. Results, whether physical, mental, or emotional, are never instant. The body adapts gradually. Muscles grow over time. Habits are formed through repetition. When people begin a fitness or supplementation routine with the expectation of overnight results, they set themselves up for disappointment. But when they commit to small, sustainable actions taken consistently over weeks and months, they create real, lasting change. This is why mindset and consistency go hand in hand. One fuels the other. The right mindset keeps a person motivated when progress feels slow. Consistency, in turn, reinforces the mindset as they begin to see and feel improvement. This approach is especially important for older adults who may be dealing with setbacks like joint pain, chronic conditions, or fatigue. On any given day, motivation might fluctuate. That's why relying on discipline and routine is more effective than waiting for inspiration. Creating a simple, repeatable system, such as taking a supplement at the same time each morning or doing light resistance exercises 3 times per week, builds momentum. Even on low-energy days, the habit is already in place, making it easier to stay on track. Another benefit of a mindset rooted in consistency is that it builds self-trust. Every time someone shows up for themselves, choosing movement over inactivity, strength over weakness, action over excuse, they reinforce the belief that they are still in control of their health and future. This self-trust is powerful. It not only affects physical outcomes, but spills over into other areas of life, relationships, self-esteem, and even emotional resilience. The person who commits to growing stronger physically often finds themselves growing stronger mentally as well. There is also a compounding effect that comes from a consistent mindset. The first few weeks may bring subtle changes, better energy, improved sleep, or slight improvements in strength. These small wins build momentum. As they accumulate, they begin to shift a person's identity. No longer are they someone too old to get strong. They become someone who prioritizes their health, who moves with purpose, who defies the stereotype of aging. That identity shift becomes a powerful force, driving more action, more progress, and more belief. Ultimately, the transformation that happens through mindset and consistency is much deeper than muscle gain alone. It's about proving to yourself that growth is still possible. It's about facing down years of limiting beliefs and deciding that your story isn't finished. It's about waking up with a sense of purpose, knowing that your body is not broken. It's just waiting for you to use it, to care for it, to challenge it. Age might change the pace, but it doesn't eliminate the potential. With the right mindset and a consistent approach, anyone over 60 can experience renewed strength, improved health, and a deeper connection to themselves. The body responds to what the mind believes, and when the mind believes in growth, the body will follow. Every day is another opportunity to prove that truth. Staying strong after the age of 60 is not just about looking better or feeling more energized. It's about protecting the most valuable form of freedom, independence. Strength is one of the core pillars that support a vibrant and self-sufficient life. Without it, the ability to perform even basic daily activities becomes compromised. Tasks like climbing stairs, getting out of a chair, lifting a suitcase, or playing with grandchildren all depend on functional strength. What many people don't realize is that losing muscle isn't just a cosmetic issue. It's a slow erosion of freedom. The good news is that this outcome is not inevitable. With intentional effort, strength can be built and preserved well into older age, keeping people active, mobile, and engaged with life. Muscle is the engine that drives nearly everything the body does. It supports posture, maintains balance, generates power for movement, and protects joints and bones from injury. As we age, we naturally lose muscle if we're not actively working to maintain it. This condition, known as sarcopenia, leads to frailty, falls, longer recovery times, and a dramatic loss of independence. But what's most important to understand is that sarcopenia isn't a guaranteed fate. It's a preventable and, in many cases, reversible condition. The body doesn't stop responding to physical activity just because the calendar says we're getting older. It simply needs a consistent and appropriate stimulus to remind it to stay strong. When older adults prioritize their strength through resistance, training, proper nutrition, and supportive supplements, they unlock a quality of life that many believe is lost after 60. It's the difference between being able to travel freely versus needing assistance. It's the confidence to walk unassisted in any environment, from a grocery store to a hiking trail. It's the comfort of knowing that you can care for yourself without depending on others. And perhaps most importantly, it's the mental peace that comes from knowing you still have control over your body and choices. This sense of independence creates a ripple effect in every area of life. Physically strong older adults are more likely to stay socially active, which has a huge impact on mental health. They are more likely to engage in hobbies, explore new activities, and maintain a fulfilling routine. They can garden, dance, golf, travel, or even take up something they've never tried before. They become participants in life rather than passive observers. That vibrancy not only improves the quality of their years, it often adds more years to their life. Studies have shown that muscle mass and strength are strong predictors of longevity and better outcomes in later life health events. One of the most empowering aspects of strength training after 60 is the transformation in self-perception. Society often paints aging as a period of decline, but when individuals begin to see and feel their strength returning, that narrative is rewritten. They no longer view themselves as fragile or limited. They start to carry themselves with more confidence. They become role models to others in their age group, proving that it's never too late to change, improve, or thrive. That change in self-identity is perhaps the most powerful outcome of all. It feeds motivation, improves mental health, and deepens the belief that the best years can still lie ahead. Building and maintaining strength doesn't require extreme workouts or spending hours in a gym. Even light resistance training 2 or 3 times a week can make a significant difference. The focus should be on compound movements, things like squats, lunges, and pushing or pulling exercises that mimic real life actions. Combined with proper rest, hydration, protein intake, and possibly a natural supplement like creatine monohydrate, the foundation for lasting strength becomes even more solid. What matters most is consistency and progress, no matter how small. Every session completed, every pound lifted, every rep done with intention is a step toward a stronger, freer future. It's also crucial to understand that strength is not just physical, it's emotional and psychological too. When someone feels strong in their body, it reflects in how they think, how they move through the world, and how they connect with others. Strength gives people the courage to try, to adapt, to overcome. In moments of doubt or fear, the knowledge that their body can support them becomes an anchor. That resilience becomes the foundation for a more joyful and empowered life. Staying strong after 60 is one of the most impactful decisions a person can make for their long-term well-being. It's not about chasing youth or reversing time. It's about making the most of the time that remains. Strength keeps the door open to independence, adventure, contribution, and connection. It allows people to live life on their own terms with pride, purpose, and vitality. And every individual, no matter where they are starting from, has the ability to tap into that strength. The choice to begin is the only barrier. Once that choice is made, the path forward is not only possible, it's transformative.